Long time no see, everybody. This is Justin with the Way in the Wilderness channel. Thanks for joining me today. I've been absent over the last 2 or 3 months on YouTube, but I'm down here in my new basement, and I thought what I'd do today is maybe just take you guys on a little tour of all of my gear, which over the last handful of years has really accumulated. So I have quite a bit of gear, and for all different seasons, and maybe talk a little bit about what it is that I keep on the back of my mind when I'm putting together a kit, when I'm planning a trip, things like that. And in my area right now, it is extremely cold. Today, before the wind chill, was about 5 degrees. And so it was definitely below zero with the wind chill. And so I'm obviously going to have some colder weather trips coming up, maybe some day hikes. I plan on doing some overnighters as I'm planning on getting back into the swing of things, making some more content, getting some more content out. Yeah, I just wanted to maybe talk a little bit about that, what it is that I like to put in a kit, and the things that I kind of try to keep in mind as I'm going about that process. So stay tuned. I'm going to get the camera situated and we'll start kind of looking through this whole area down here. My process when I'm putting together a kit is based primarily on Dave Canterbury's 10 C's of Survival, and that's kind of the core of any kit that I put together. I know a lot of you guys are going to be familiar with that, but if you're not, the 10 C's of Survival are a cutting tool, combustion device, cover, container, cordage, cotton bandanas, cargo tape, compass, cloth sail needle, and candling device. So as we're going through my gear down here, if you just keep that in mind, you will find all of the necessary items down here to make a kit with those 10 C's. And I'm not saying that every time I go on a trip I have every single 10 C, but a lot of times I do. So yeah, just right here I have some just regular Magellan camp pillows just hanging from the ceiling here. Over here I have a couple Kelty sleeping bags. These are, I want to say these are rated at 40 degrees if I remember correctly. So yeah, any of your down though, you're going to want to keep, you're not going to want to keep it balled up and in a stuff sack for a long period of time. So I just have these kind of hanging from some paracord that I ran from some hooks up here. Right there is my wife's backpacking bag, which is an Osprey, what is it, Ren 50. She seemed to like this. We did a little bit of she did some hiking with this bag at the Ozark Highland Trail, and yeah, she seemed to like it. She's been kind of out of commission lately as she was pregnant and we got a newborn, so she hasn't been able to get out a ton to do any long distance or anything like that. But so right here, as you can see, just some cold weather, just some Ozark Trail sleeping bags that are rated to -10, I believe, or maybe 10 degrees. Are they -10 or 10? Yeah, just 10 degrees. So these are actually pretty warm sleeping bags. Obviously going to be really heavy. They're a synthetic fill. So, but yeah, and then up here, these are just some more, I don't even know what the brand is on these. Cedar Creek. Yeah, so these are rated at, I want to say this is right around the same, or 40, I'm sorry, yeah, right around the Kelty bags, so right around 40 to 50 degrees. These are obviously not meant for cold weather. And then here's just another one. And then in here I have my black bag, the black military bag from the MMS sleep system. So that's just in this Pathfinder dry bag, and it's also a synthetic bag, so I keep that tucked away in here. And it also has the Gore-Tex bivy with it, the camouflage bivy. That thing is awesome. I believe those are rated to maybe 0 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 10 degrees, somewhere around there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I have slept in some pretty cold weather in that. Then right here is my hammock gear top quilt, which I love this thing. This thing is super warm. This is rated at 0 degrees. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 0 degrees. It's 850 fill, I believe. Yeah, 850. And yeah, this thing is just phenomenal. I got the wide version. And so yeah, it's just a top quilt, super warm though. So I keep that, obviously, like I said, the down fill, I keep it in this bag that they sent, which was really nice. These are pretty pricey, but well worth the money. And down here, this is my wool poncho. This is a wool poncho from Bushcraft, Spain. Just a couple different wool blankets. And then down here, this thing is phenomenal also. If you're not familiar with these, I would highly recommend these. This is the Helicon Tech Swagman roll. This thing is great, and I believe that it's rated at about 40 degrees, but can also be used as a hammock under quilt, just a blanket, sleeping bag. I mean, just a phenomenal piece of gear. I use it all the time. So, and then just some heavier military wool blankets. And then I have a Pathfinder wool blanket down here, along with another, I don't know the brand of it, but another heavier wool blanket. Both of these are queen size, so they're also going to be a little bigger than all of these. So yeah, just my sleeping bags, blankets. Over here, this is going to be all of my ground mats, ground cloths, things like that. Down there I keep some extra trash can drum liners for stuffing leaves in to make a debris bed, things like that. Different canvas sitting pads. Right here is a gum blanket, kind of based on like a Civil War Civil War era gum blanket. These things are really cool. I got that from Coal Cracker, I believe. And then this is a LL Bean blanket. A lot of times I use that for like picnics and things like that when I'm going out. But yeah, just a lot of canvas sit pads, things like that. This is a canvas, little canvas thing that you can turn into a little chair with a couple sticks, make a tripod, and yeah, you can have a little chair. But yeah, that's just that stuff there. And then over here, kind of the same concept. Like I said, along this wall is going to be mainly sleeping gear, you know, things that are going to keep me comfortable while I'm sleeping. I have just a bunch of different sleeping pads. These Thermarest ones are phenomenal. I really like these a lot. This one's okay. I believe this is a military issue. It's a Thermarest, but it's not quite like, I mean, as comfortable as this accordion style with the one side has like the reflective material. So anyway, that's what's over here. I've got some different sleeping pads right here. Climate Static V. I believe this is the Static V Recon, which is a colder weather. I want to say this one is like maybe a 4.5 R value, whereas this one, the Static V regular one, is not a very high R value at all. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, this is obviously for more summer camping, maybe 3 season. But yeah, this is going to be definitely a lot warmer. And then my cold weather is my Xped sleeping pad here. This one is a downfill. This is like a 7 R value or something like that. Super warm, great sleeping pad. A lot more comfortable than either one of those. Then down there, I've just got some sleeping bag liners, a couple different sleeping bag liners. In the summer months, sometimes I'll just pack this because it's so small and just use that as a blanket. So, but yeah, over here, so sleeping bags, blankets, and quilt, sleeping pads over here. And to kind of go along with that, my cover element, My tents, tarps, things like that. A couple of these Winterial. I picked these up from a guy on Craigslist, I believe. He had like tons of them, and he sold me 2 of these single person tents for dirt cheap, and they've been actually really good for the price, especially. So I'll have to bust one of those out at some point. Down here I have my One Tigress Backwoods Bungalow 2.0. Phenomenal tent. I love that thing. This is a big 4-person, 5-person tent that I'll take out when my wife and I and the kids go out. You know, we all kind of just pile in that thing. And then down here I have a bunch of different hammocks. Lightweight hammock. I have my Eno hammock, and then a couple Pathfinders, and then my wife's Eno hammock is back in here as well. And then up here, this is my wife's Eureka, kind of very similar style to this Winterial, so you can kind of get an idea of what size, almost like a bivvy tent. This is a Bushcraft Outfitters. I did a video on this where I seam sealed the middle seam, but this is a 10 by 10 Bushcraft Outfitters tarp. This is a really lightweight sill nylon tarp, and I've got a couple DD. Here's a 3x3, and then a DD 4x4 tarp. These are awesome tarps. A couple other awesome tarps right here are these Pathfinder. I believe they're both not quite 8x8, but they're just nylon tarps. I got them in different colors, and these actually work really well with those hammocks. I believe they sell them as a system, honestly. So yeah, a couple of those tarps. And then moving up here, this is going to be my oilskin tarps. So this is a Tent Smith's 8x8 oilskin tarp. And then this one here is a 10 by 10 Bushcraft Spain oilskin tarp. And then on top of that, I have some just straps that I use for my bags and things like that if I wanted to strap my tarps to it, or my wool blankets or something like that. And looks like my poncho, my Helicontex poncho. This is kind of like a military style poncho. And then under here I have, these are actually a couple One Tigress ground mats. One I've put together as kind of a emergency shelter kit. The other one I do use as a ground mat. It's actually like a tent footprint. I'll use that with my One Tigress Backwoods Bungalow down there. But I sometimes I just toss this in other packs just to use it as a ground mat. And then here I have some emergency space blankets, some Pathfinder. Some are Arcturus, but yeah, just some 5x7 emergency space blankets that I use for emergency tarps. A couple of them are set up as an emergency, like all-inclusive type kits. So, then this thing I love. You've seen this on some videos. This is my reindeer hide. I think I bought that on the Grimfrost website, and I think maybe they're in Sweden or something like that. But anyway, just a phenomenal ground shoe. This thing will keep you super warm, so I really love that thing. And then in here, which I'm actually going to be busting this out very soon, this is my Polish Lavu, but I bought an addition to it from Bushcraft Spain that turns it into a really big baker style canvas tent. So if you're not familiar with the Polish Lavu, it's almost like a teepee style canvas tent, and what it is it's actually 2 canvas ponchos that they would issue the Polish military men. So if you had one, you could set it up as kind of a tarp, but if guy next to you had another one, you could make like a teepee style tent. But anyway, I'm going to be busting this out with that addition from Bushcraft Spain, which is awesome. I've done some camp outs with that. I actually, the last one I did, I took my daughters and one of my nieces out on just kind of a girls camp out trip with them, and they slept in this. So anyway, and then down here I have my REI camp chair. I love taking that with me on, you know, car camping trips and things like that. Couple of oh, am I drawing a blank? A couple of my I'm drawing a blank on them, guys. Anyway, it's gonna come to me. But I have my hiking stick here that I love. I actually got this just from a guy at a farmer's market, I believe, for like $5. It was awesome. When I'm thinking about what it is I'm going to take with me on a trip, it's going to be something to sleep under, which this area here is going to cover that. Something to sleep on, ground mats, things like that. Up on top are some different inflatable camp pillows. And then something to sleep in, which would be covered by the sleeping bags and the wool blankets and things like that. So when I'm putting together a kit, as far as my sleep system, it's always going to be that way. Something to sleep on, or sorry, something to sleep under, something to sleep on, and then something to sleep in. So that covers all of that. And then over here, guys, I have just some of my fishing gear. And I'm not going to get too in depth with this. Just a bunch of different poles, things like that. A couple tackle boxes, some smaller fishing kits, things like that. Some extra line, stuff like that. So I just keep all of my fishing type gear over there. And then as we move over this way, we're going to have cooking gear. That's going to be basically covered by this rack here and this rack here. And a huge part of camping to me is cooking. I will say it is pretty tough to get a lot of the cooking done on film. So I want to get better at that. There are some guys online that I really admire, you know, how they can cook over the fire and get it all filmed just right. So I really love those type of videos. And as you can see, I really love camping cook gear also. So I'm not going to really go over everything. If you have any questions for me regarding anything, if you could put it in the comment section. I'll do my best to tell you what it is and where I got it. But just on the top is obviously I have my Lodge camp Dutch oven. And then over here are going to be some different kettles. Different sizes for depending on, you know, how many people are going. And then over here, just some pans. I got a small cast iron pan here, and you know, just some stainless steel one here. And I love keeping them in these wax canvas or these canvas bags. I believe I got these from Firebox Stove, and this kit actually down here is a Firebox Stove kit, a phenomenal pan cooking kit. And then this one is the stainless steel 8-inch Pathfinder skillet inside of a Badger Claw Leatherworks canvas bag for it. Great piece of kit. And then just a couple extra pans. This is actually a pan from that goes along with another more of a backpacking kit. It actually goes with this down here, which is on another shelf, the jet boil. So that is the pan for the jet boil, which the jet boil is a really cool piece of kit. But I guess I'll jump down to the second shelf. The second shelf is mainly going to consist of, I have some extra bowls, extra plates and things like that, and then all of my bush pots. You know, some more lightweight options here. Stainless steel. All of these are going to be stainless steel. This is the Billy can. This was a kit that I got from Firebox as well. Great piece of kit. And then more of a family size bush pot. And then these here would be more for single person, obviously single person. So yeah, just all of my bush pots there. Moving down here is going to be mainly cups, extra stainless steel containers, a bunch of different extra cups. Over here, I'm gonna have my 3 grails. This one I can't remember. I don't even believe they sell this model anymore, but this is the newer one. And guys, I forget the name of them. I'd be more than happy to look them up if you have any questions on it. But I don't know why all this stuff is slipping my mind right now. The GeoPress is the bigger one. Ultra Press, I believe, is what this one's called, but I cannot remember what this one is called. And then just some extra Nalgene's, kitchen sink by Sea to Summit. Lightweight option, can carry a good amount of water for you if you needed some extra water. That back there is actually, my sister got me that, and that is a French press, like a backpacking style French press. Pretty cool piece of kit. Some extra cups. This is my backpacking, more lightweight. This has a Toaks titanium cup in it and things like that. Down here is a lot of my wooden utensils and stuff like that. So just different cooking options, containers, a couple kuksas and things like that. So yep, that's all in there. And then moving over here, I know it's a little dark over here. This is going to be some different spice kits, different bags and stuff I just keep right here. Some tea, and then I think, yeah, some rice that I actually have prepared for to take with me on a trip coming up. Some more spices, some coffee and creamer and things like that. I keep my olive oil, which is mainly what I cook with, in this little flask here. Stainless steel flask, works really well. All this is just going to be extra forks, sporks, spoons, spatulas, things like that. Just some random containers, and then just some more cooking type implements down here. And then over here in this corner, let me try and get some light over here. This is going to be like a spit roast, different camping grills and grates, and then in that is the Woodman's Pantry in the black one. I got that one actually, the tan colored one here from Campcraft Outdoors, but it's just some twist off containers that you can put food in, just for taking food out with you. Down here, just some more stoves. These are, I'm sorry, grills and things like that. This is oh man, I forget the name of it. There's a couple different styles. This is the yeah, the UCO. I honestly, I don't even know what they call it, but it's just a little grill. Maybe I'll do some reviews on that. And yeah, so this is all just kind of cooking stuff over here. And when I'm putting together my cooking kits, I really like to visualize and think ahead about what it is that I'm going to be cooking, and really go through the whole process in my head. And so, you know, if I'm going to be cooking something I know I'm going to need, generally I'll always take some kind of a my goodness, I cannot think. Some kind of this is getting edited out. Drawing a blank. Some crazy kettle. My goodness. So generally I'll always have one of those kettles with me of some sort. If I'm going to be cooking something I know I'm going to need a bush pot, you know, and like I said, I'll kind of go through the whole process. And I kind of am really particular about the things that I take. You know, if I'm going to take wooden stuff, it's generally going to be everything wooden. If I'm taking stainless steel stuff, I'm generally going to, my whole kit's going to be stainless steel. Just kind of how my brain works. I'm pretty OCD about certain things. So yeah, that's kind of, I'll just run through that whole process, like run through the whole process of cooking, and then down to even what spices I'm going to want to put in it. And then I'll move over here, grab what I need from there. Am I going to need a grill, grate of some sort to set my pans on, or am I going to be, using in there? I have from TJM Metalworks. I have this little revolving iron. I forget what the name of it is, but it has a grill grate on it, and you can kind of swivel it out. One of them has just a little hook on it to hang your pot from and things like that. So I just go through the whole process of what it is that I'm going to need, which would bring me over here to my next step. And let me get another light on over here. This would bring me to over here in a lot of cases, and this is going to be a lot of my different wood stoves, stuff like that, my different alcohol stoves in here. Here's my firebox stove, and just a bunch of different stoves are in here. A lot of times I'll use this to set a fire on if I don't want it on the ground. This is a product from Yuko. I think it's just it's basically just like a steamer, but anyway, that's what a lot of that is up here. Just some extra bandanas, which obviously is one of the 10 C's of survival that Dave Canterbury teaches. I keep a lot of these obviously to throw in my cook kit, wipe your hands off. I'm a person that when I'm cooking, I have to have something to wipe my hands on over my shoulder at all times. So, and then moving along in here, this is just going to be some extra fire stuff. Got some fat wood sticks, some extra matches, things like that to throw in different fire kits. And I'll get more into that as we move over to my work table. But then down here, this is going to be cordage and tent stakes, things like that. Underneath these two is a bunch of extra bank line, bunch of extra 550 paracord, bunch of different type of cordage under here. Some natural cordage, jute twine, any kind of cordage you could think of. And in here I have just a bunch of different different styles of tent stakes, all that sort of stuff in here. So that's what that whole drawer is. And then these last two drawers, obviously this is going to go along with my cook system. Just a bunch of extra isobutane canisters in here. So to go along with my, mainly if I'm not wanting to cook over the fire, or if I'm going on more of a backpacking trip. And then down here, this is what I use for my alcohol stoves, just some heat. So I use that, and then I have just some extra solid fuel tablets, Esbit tabs. And here's just a little small bag of hardwood coal briquettes. Those I'll throw in if I'm cooking over my wood burning stoves, and I want to have some just coal to put in there to keep the heat going for longer. And then some propane tanks for my Coleman stove that is over around here somewhere. So yeah, that kind of goes with that. And when I'm thinking about what it is, the cordage that I'm going to use, I'll come over here and really go through my cordage. A lot of times I have my cordage set up in different kits already, but I'm keeping all of these things in mind. How am I going to set up my tarp? So therefore, what am I going to need to set up the tarp? How much cordage? What kind of cordage am I going to need with, whatever the tarp, whatever the sleep system that I'm using? If I'm going to hang things over the fire, I'm going to need some extra cordage, or if I'm planning on making a tripod. All of those things I'm running through my head as I'm putting together my kit. So I always keep those different things in mind. Oh, there's my Coleman stove down there. along with just another grate that I have these things sitting on. These are just kind of some, this is just some extra stuff to throw on my belt, things like that. This is a sheath for my saw, a couple of my silky saws. The Gomboy, I believe, is what this one's for. And then back here is just a sharpening kit, strops, you know, grinding stone for my axe from Grant's First Brook, some, you know, different Arkansas stones and stuff like that, some oil. So just a little sharpening kit. Then over here I keep just a different repair kit with just all manner of different things to keep my leather looking good, stuff like that. I use this a lot of times when I get home. My boots are all muddy, to get the mud off of my boots and things like that after it dries up, when I clean them up and things like that. And this is just a tool roll. In here I have an auger bit, pretty big one. Yeah, and then I keep some of my gloves here, some of my leather gloves. And obviously that's gonna be in use for a lot of different occasions. So I'm always keeping that in mind. What exactly am I gonna be doing? Am I going to be, you know, in a brushy area where I'm going to be having to go through a lot of brush? Am I going to be cutting a lot of firewood? Stuff like that. You know, if I'm going to be handling a lot of stuff, I'm always going to have a pair of gloves with me. Over here, I've done some videos on these. These are my two haversack kits. More of my traditional style one, more of kind of a modern one, but more of a lightweight one. But anyway, I've done videos with these, so go check those videos out. If you haven't seen those yet, I go over the contents of those. Down here, I'm sure you can guess what's in those, so not even going to bother. And then down here is just some extra, sorry, you can't even see that. Down here is just some extra food. So in some storage totes, I have some freeze-dried foods, things like that. Up here is a couple of handful of books that I have read or am in the process of reading, different bushcraft style books. I'm a big reader. I'm an avid reader. I read pretty much every day, every night especially. But yeah, just different things on knots, trees of Missouri. I'm here in the Midwest, so this is a really good book to have. Bushcraft by Moores Kansky, obviously Dave Canterbury, Bushcraft 101, Advanced Bushcraft, Horace Kephart, Camping and Woodcraft, another great book. And yeah, just some navigation stuff, which in all honesty, guys, I need to get a lot better on land navigation, which is why I have this, and I really want to start practicing that. And then a bunch of different pamphlets, places that I've been, things like that. So anyway, moving along over here, we've got some candling devices. These are just some extra candling devices, different extra headset, headlamp, couple different lamps, couple different candle lanterns, things like that. Some candles that I made, some beeswax candles that I take with me for nighttime. Keep those there. Right here, I've got some rain gear, rain jacket, another poncho, some pants. And then if you can see in here, this is some medical and hygiene, just extra bags. And if you have any amount of gear, you know how many bags you accumulate. And down here is miscellaneous stuff. I've got some, I guess I can just open it. Keep some extra pads, right in the rain pads, some extra Gorilla Tape, Ranger bands, some extra batteries. Can't have too many batteries, so I keep those. My kids are always begging me for those for their toys also. So, but yeah, just a bunch of miscellaneous random items. And these are some just extra bags, and also in this Plano tote, I have some extra bags as well. My main bags are going to be the ones that are hanging, which I'll just go over really quickly. This is the Savoda. I believe it's pronounced Yakari. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so this is a great bag. This is the large one. I believe it is supposed to expand to maybe 70 liters. if I'm not mistaken, but these pouches that I bought separately add a lot more to it than that. This is my Gregory Paragon. I believe this is a 58 liter. Yeah, 58 liter Paragon. This is more of my backpacking pack. And this is the Steuben by Fjallraven. The Steuben pack. It did not come with these side pouches, but it is a phenomenal pack. Really love that. And you can actually sit on it. It has a frame, so it's basically, I believe Steuben means stump, like tree stump. So that was kind of the concept behind that, is you can sit on it, use it as a chair. I think they say it's more of a hunting style pack. This is the John pack. A phenomenal pack. I love this. It's a heavy duty canvas, leather. Yeah, some webbing back here, some cotton webbing. Very comfortable, very awesome pack. Not super big, but yeah, it's a great pack. Over here, I have another one of those Kelty sleeping bags hanging. And then this is my daughter's pack. I actually did a video with her as well, so go check that one out. She keeps her bag right here, and she keeps all of her stuff loaded in hers. So, yep, there's that. And that John pack, actually, this is just something that I made for it because it does not have a frame to it. It's a frameless bag. So I made this. It fits in there, and I think I made this out of a trash can. And yeah, so I put this in there, and it kind of adds like a little frame to it, which works out really nicely. A couple of my hats, and that's pretty much everything around the perimeter, guys. My cooking gear. Oh, over there, if you can see, that is my stainless steel bottle and cup set with a couple extra things in there, and a Badger Claw Leatherworks little shoulder strap. I absolutely love that thing. But anyway, moving to my work table, this is where I would really put together my kit. You know, just put my bag up here is kind of the idea, and I can just work around and go around and just grab what I need for whatever the trip is that I'm taking. And I could just put my whole kit together up here. And then underneath here I have a couple things. I'm not going to really dig too much into it. I got some extra birch bark that I've harvested from different places. Some more in here. I have a couple kits down in here. I know it's kind of dark, but I have a medical kit down here. This is my navigation kit in one of these Magpul pouches. And then this is a Coal Cracker Bushcraft canvas bag that I keep a hygiene kit in. And then down here is another bigger medical kit. So keep that underneath there. And let me see, what else do we have over here on the other side. All of my cutting tools, guys. Let me see if I can. Okay, there we go. I guess I should have been doing that from the get-go. But my cutting tools over here, I have saws, my different saws, couple different, silky saw. I believe that is the Silky Big Boy. Have a machete over there. This is the Pathfinder model of the Agawa Canyon. I believe this is a 15. And yeah, it comes with that nice Cordura sheath to keep everything in. Just phenomenal. And then this is also another Agawa Canyon, the Boreal 21, I believe, in a leather. It has actually like a shoulder strap. Have another Agawa Canyon in here. This is in a Campcraft Outdoor shoulder strap. And then this is my folding buck saw in a Badger Claw Leatherworks wax canvas strap on that one. Over here, got a couple shovels. Yep, just a couple shovels for different things. One that I'm probably going to have to be using here pretty quick is this snow shovel. I actually just recently acquired that for when I go on some trips when there's some snow. And then a bunch of different knives and more saws, just different cutting tools and stuff like that. So there's that. In here, keep a couple different lanterns. And then over here is just some extra lamp wicks, sewing stuff, just kind of another miscellaneous little area down there. So that's it. And then moving up here, I keep this basket here, which are kind of pre-made different kits. You know, I've got my belt pouch, which I did a video on. If you haven't seen that, go check that video out. Just the contents of my belt pouch. One of my fire kits that I also recently did a video on. And I keep a couple repair kits here and some canvas bags. One is more of a sharpening kit. One's more of just a general repair kit. And then, yeah, just some different fire kits, flint and steel kits, things like that. And the idea for me in these up here over here is my pocket knives, my pocket fishing kit, things like that. Some one of these is like a pill, different pills, ibuprofen. I get pretty bad allergies in the summertime, so just some pills, and then one of them has some matches in it, things like that. But the idea is with this, and then also with this container here, this is going to be things that when I'm heading out the door, you know, I will have put my bag together, put my whole kit together, and then this is going to be pocket items, things that I'm going to throw in my pocket. And I also recently did a video, one of my last videos was the, you know, kind of the sort of things that I would keep in my pocket. So obviously pocket knives, some sort of a ferro rod, emergency ferro rod, matches. I always keep some kind of a hank of cordage in my pocket all the time. Right here is a rat's tourniquet that I can toss in, you know, in my pocket. Pretty compact tourniquet. So things like that, just lighters, obviously, a bunch of different lighters, things that I would just toss in my pocket as I'm heading out the door. And then up here, I have just one of my Gransfors Brooks small forest axe. Sorry about that. I know I need to get better with maneuvering this camera and trying to talk. My small forest axe, and then a Holtz Brooks little hatchet. So those are just sitting up here, obviously go along with my cutting tools. In here, some different kits, water filtration kits. A lot of this stuff is more backpacking stuff. I have my poop kit here, you know, with just some wipes and a small a trowel, a little shovel to dig a hole, just a little kit for that. So that's the idea with this table here, is that I have easy access for any of these little kits, fire kits, things like that, that I'm going to throw in my bag after I have went through the whole process of figuring out, you know, obviously on the back of my mind, I'm going to be thinking, okay, what is the temperature? What's the weather like outside? That's obviously going to determine my whole sleep system. You know, okay, what kind of sleeping bag do I need? Is a 40-degree bag okay, suitable for the weather? Or do I need something that's going to keep me warm at 0 degrees? You know, am I going to need something that's going to keep me warm at 10 degrees? Am I going to need something that's going to keep me warm down to, you know, negative 10 degrees? Well, am I going to have a fire? If I'm going to be sleeping next to a fire, I'm not going to want to take any of these things. I'm going to want to take some wool blankets. So, you know, these are all kind of the things that I'm keeping in mind. What is the what are the sleeping conditions going to be like? You know, am I going to need is it more of a rocky area? Am I going to want to take an inflatable mattress? You know, obviously the weather, again, the temperature is going to dictate which one I take, you know. And a lot of this is just your preference at the moment. I like to switch things up, try out, you know, different pieces of gear, and yeah, just have fun, guys. It's not about you know, checking off this box and, you know, oh, I have to cover all this, that, and the other. You know, I get so many different ideas from different YouTubers, and there's a lot of great channels out there to get advice from. Oh man, that looks cool. I want to try that. you know, stuff like that, man. Just go out and have fun. Yeah, it's I think you can easily get way too caught up in, oh, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Obviously, you want to be safe. You want to take, you know, the precautions and have some know-how, some general understanding of how to keep yourself safe, and, you know, just not out there just doing anything that's going to get yourself hurt, get yourself in a bad situation. Know where you're going, know exactly how to get out, and if you know, don't be trudging off into the woods. Obviously, you know, if you're in an area with, you know, thousands of acres and you don't know how to land navigate, you know, that, which would be me included. I'm not going to go roam off into the woods. You know, I generally, because I'm not great at land navigation, I'm not just wandering off into the woods. You know, I generally know where I'm going, and I'm out to have a good time, you know, and do some cooking and things like that and just have a good time. But yeah, guys, I just encourage you, you know, go out, go have fun. Don't get so stuck on, you know, oh, I'm not a professional or anything. You don't have to be a professional to get into this hobby, guys. You learn a lot from people. I've learned a lot from people. Like I said, Dave Canterbury, I've learned a ton from that man. And but yeah, you can find tons of information online, and you know, just learn some things and just go out and have a good time. You know, it's all about, in my opinion, getting out in God's creation and having a good time, you know, and it is really revitalizing. It's really relaxing. You know, so much of life is just so hectic, and if you can just get away from, you know, get away from the technology, get away from, obviously I know I'm out there filming, but you know, generally my phone when I'm out there is on silent, and it's just really relaxing. It can really be a reset for you, you know, and that's a lot of the reason I do it. And I like to teach my kids that, to just go out, to get out, get away from the TV. In fact, we don't watch much TV around here at all. And yeah, you know, my wife and I and millions of people out there have the same idea, you know, that our kids shouldn't be sitting in front of a screen all day. They should be running around outside. And anyway, I don't want to be too long-winded with this, but you know, I just really encourage you guys to just get out, have a good time. So I appreciate you guys joining me today, and I hope that, you know, what I carry, some of this gear may give you guys some ideas. And if you have some different ideas for me, some things that you've noticed that you know, I could maybe store better even, or whatever the case, if you have any questions about anything, leave that in the comments section below, and I'll do my best, like I said, to answer any questions of where I got things and stuff like that. You know, a lot of this stuff I've acquired over, you know, a handful of years, like I said, so I may not know off the top of my head where it all came from, but I'll do my best if you have any questions. But anyway, appreciate the views, guys. I am really looking forward to getting back out and getting some content put out. And this year, I think, is going to be a pretty cool year as far as the Away in the Wilderness channel. So yeah, hope to see you guys on the next adventure. And I think my next video, before I go do my overnighter, is going to be me actually putting together a kit to go on that trip and kind of go through that whole process with you, so you guys can kind of see what my process is in that. So anyways, guys, thanks a lot. Hope to see you guys soon. God bless. Have a great night.